Hello. Well, that was awkward that there was like a watermark on my first ever stream at the beginning that I had to go in and fix. So, yeah, let's go ahead and turn some music down a little bit. Basically, I'm going to keep this on my YouTube channel. What I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be programming, chilling. I have this really cool game idea that I'm going to be going over. Little creepy multiplayer horror game. I kind of wanted to start with horror just because, you know, I absolutely love that. Anyways, it will be very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. I really hope that my microphone level is okay. I'm going to check real quick. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check and see if this is better. So I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit. That's a little loud. All right, I'm gonna check if this is okay now. Okay, I think that should be good. That should be okay. All right, I think I got everything together, so let me go ahead and just turn on this display screen capture. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and click in here. You know what? Let's not do win. Let's get rid of this here. I don't have a second monitor, unfortunately, so that kind of makes it a little tough. I'm sure it's okay. All right, let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and just get this character started right off the bat. I'm gonna speed run this just because I have made a first-person character so many times. I don't care. Did it do the annoying thing, or did it move them like I'm hoping the new update does? Okay. Let's see if I can delete it. I doubt it, just because of how Unreal Engine's set up. Yeah, because there's naming properties. Let's see. Oh, let me do it. Perfect. Okay, cool. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up. Input. Let's move maps over to content. Starting organizing is like the best thing that you can do. Now it's probably gonna mess with some directories, but I can fix that pretty quick. Blueprints, input. That's fine. I just want everything to be in order. Maps, level prototyping, meshes. I'll keep it. I'll just yeah, let's just name it UE assets. And then we can go ahead and take the characters and drag that into UE assets, just so I can distinguish kind of what is Unreal Engine, what is mine. I'm gonna commit. If you looked at my old TikToks and all my old YouTubes and such, you would see that I had worked on a game there for a bit. Survival horror game. That's kind of Outlast like. I think the reason I stopped that is it was way too ambitious, and it would have taken me an absurd amount of time to get it out. Whereas if I'm making videos on something, I want you to see the end product within a year, hopefully. And that wasn't going to do it. Definitely not. My idea was kind of like large-scale hotel, random generated, you know, hallways, and it was kind of like a mix of Escape from Tarkov and Outlast, where you're running from enemies, you weren't doing as much combat, and you were collecting things that you could upgrade. And I thought maybe a game mode where you got rewards by playing as a monster, and you would try to go in and kill people, but that obviously did not work out because nothing ever came of it. All right, let's go ahead and continue this. Characters, that's going to be an empty folder. I just want to make sure before I delete all of it. I just wish, I mean, it makes sense that it doesn't delete it. Just wish it kind of automatically. Let's just run it, make sure everything works. Yeah, okay. I'm so glad to have a new graphics card. I don't even remember which one I bought. I think it was a 3060. Yeah, I wish I could have a 4070, but I'm broke. I'm broke. Let's see here. Player characters, inputs. Okay. This new Unreal Engine, dude, it is so different. I'm having such a hard time wrapping my brain around it, especially like the first-person game mode. I'm having such a hard time adjusting. Just the way they changed everything around is so vastly different than I'm used to. It's so vastly different. Let's go back over here. Engine. Okay, we're not doing that. Get out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and take my. Is this empty as well? I'm guessing. No. Player characters. I'm stupid. Set color. Let's do a nice like light cyan. I like to mark content and folders I'm gonna be using frequently, like player characters. I'm gonna be doing from the start. I'm gonna be doing it a lot, so I like to mark it. Blueprints, player character. Let's go ahead and make this first person. Speed run this. It shows how many times I've done it. It's mostly how many tutorials I've done. Oh wait. There we go. Should be perfectly fine. I want to lower the scale a little bit. Be a little bit more picky this time. I just don't want the camera taking up like an enormous amount. I like to do like 250. I always forget specifically where it is. There we go. Two things you have to take off. I forgot what it was. It was something about like movement. It's like directional movement or something that was annoying that I always turn off. Was it angular damping? No, it wasn't angular damping. Play some damage, cast shadow, visible. Maybe it's under just the character itself. What was it? I did it for my flashlight tutorial. I remember that. I just don't remember what it was. Was it replicate movement? No, it definitely wasn't replicate movement. It's gonna drive me insane. I mean, I don't have to do it right now. I just know it's gonna piss me off. It'd be character movement, wouldn't it? Orient rotation to movement. That's what it is. Thank God. Okay. Let's go ahead and see how that is. I'm gonna lower it to like 200. There we go. That works. Since I don't have a monitor, I'm gonna have to have chat on my phone. Auto. I'm gonna turn off my auto lock. There we go. Just so I can have chat up. I'll lower my brightness so my phone stays alive. Okay. Just making sure that the audio is okay because I don't want to have to fuck with it again. Excuse my swearing. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get a sprint system down. I don't want jump. Yeah, make sure we disable jumping. Definitely want vaulting. I don't want jumping. Oh, it says Gravity Falls remix? Oh yeah. Love Gravity Falls. Okay, that's our look, that's our move. Default sprint speed. That's gonna help me a lot. Let's do like 300 for sprint speed, I guess. Reading your comment right now. Recently did your elevator design on my project. With the end, it loops back one more time before the doors open. It loops back one more time. So, like, when you say it loops back one more time, is it redoing the process or like the doors opening again? Really, the elevator tutorial is a lot of booleans, a lot of delays, and a lot of like time-based, variables. So you're just gonna have to go back through your code. It's hard to pinpoint immediately where that is. I would have to look at the code, but normally the case is that a boolean is not set correctly. So usually the easiest way for that to be different is not ticking something when it's supposed to be ticked, or not ticking like a default value you're supposed to tick. And it could be also that a delay is not set up properly to where it's not being canceled, or the time isn't being set properly, in that it's causing it to reloop when it shouldn't. So if you're experiencing the elevator relooping, I would check over your booleans, your delays, and just any of your time-based variables, because most of the time the issues I was having making that tutorial is that the time wasn't set up properly. So sometimes the delay would delay the elevator moving maybe a second time if you press that button. And a boolean wasn't set up correctly too. So like I said, it's just a lot of checking over, unfortunately, and just kind of seeing. But I would have to look at the code for a while to kind of see what could possibly be wrong with it. So let's do walk speed. What was it? Walk speed was... We don't even have to technically do that, but I kind of want to. What do we have that as? Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. If you have any more questions or you're still stuck, just come back and I'll try to help you. I know that probably out of all my tutorials, the most frustrating to follow is probably that one, because like I said, absolutely all the booleans, everything, dude. It's grueling. It was grueling to make too. Probably a little bit more complex than you should. I think that was my first YouTube tutorial. Actually, no, I think it was the Outlast like door show off was my first like coding YouTube tutorial. I mean, not my first ever. Need an event begin. That's not what I wanted. I think I have to get the character movement. Yeah, it's not super beginner friendly, which is why I started shooting out beginner friendly tutorials after that. And I definitely got better at making tutorials after that and making it easier to follow along. Because I think then I didn't really explain very well. I think I could have definitely done a better job. I think of revisiting the elevator tutorial a lot, because I actually did design a pretty nice asset of an elevator I was going to tie with my code, and I was redoing a lot of the code with that. I think I made it a lot simpler, so I'm thinking of revisiting that project, finishing it, and then redoing the elevator tutorial, because that might make it a lot easier on people. And I was going to implement a lot of new features, like how you can use materials to add a floor sign that changes. And I made some assets for that too that I could give away for free, most likely, because it's just something I photoshopped in like 20 minutes. But it would unfortunately take me some time to make that. But I definitely think I should. Let's change these to floats. Let's go ahead and grab our clock speed. That's not what I wanted. Let's make sure this is instance editable and exposed on spawn too. For anyone wondering, the reason I like to make a lot of these default values instance editable and expose on spawn is because then if I go right here to my viewport and I open my details panel just on the self of the player character, then I can see right here, where is it? Where are you hiding? Right under movement here. You'll see an entire category for movement, and I'm pretty sure if I just look up movement, it'll pull up it. Never mind. I'm just wrong. Under the movement tab here, you can see sprint speed, max walk speed. So I can go in and just change the values here and they'll completely carry over. It makes it a lot easier on me. And like, for example, I doubt I will ever do this. I'll probably just do spawning. If you have it in the world, if you just scroll down, you'll see it. So you can change it on individual player characters. And you can do it for AI too, if you like carry over the movement system. It's very, very nice. I love doing that. I love organizing. So we're just basically saying that when the event begins, we're going to automatically assign the max walk speed to whatever we set it. Because I don't want to have to go into the movement and change it every single time. I know it takes like 3 more seconds, and that's just me being lazy, but it's something I like. Yeah, and I wish I broke it down into fewer parts. I would have made it a lot, or more parts, I mean. That would have made it a lot easier on y'all if it was like 15 minutes, because then you could follow one tutorial, make sure that's completely correct, follow the next tutorial, make sure that's correct, and then eventually you would get to the video where you're like, oh, I found the problem. Which in the future I've started trying to do, make my videos less than, maybe at max 25 minutes. I try to get 15 if I can, but I should definitely break stuff up into multiple parts if I feel like it's getting long. That's why so many people do it on YouTube, because I would have to recall, how long ago was that? Like 7-8 months ago? That's the thing, though, is it's hard to recall a specific time just because it happened a lot. Things like that happened a ton making that tutorial. It was a bunch of just tweaking, going back over my code and going, okay, it's looping. Let me go back to where the elevator runs and see if my delay is set up incorrectly that's causing it to loop a second time. I think a lot of the times was that I didn't have a Boolean ticked. So, for example, if I have the elevator running, I didn't tick the Boolean correctly. That would say, you know, make it to where you can't press the button and run the elevator again. That would cause it to just loop over again. That, or like I said, it's a mix of either the Boolean not being ticked correctly, so it comes back to another loop, and then a delay being set incorrectly, so after it finishes, it'll just start again. Because you can't cancel delays. You can only set timers. I prefer setting timers because you can cancel them and pause them. So yeah, that was a long time ago, and I might have to like recall pretty hard to get that back into my brain. I have to beam it down. Completely forgot that I need the character movement again. Sprinting is the easiest code of all time. That should automatically work. That's not much faster, huh? That's better. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. It's frustrating, and I'm sorry that I couldn't help more. It's just going back and forth, and I definitely feel the struggle because there was this. I was trying to do like a grid-based inventory system, and I followed this dude's tutorial that was like a 20-part tutorial, and they were each like 2 hours long, and I completely gave up and just tried to do it myself because one, the dude was 100% just going along the way. He would constantly change his code the next video and be like, oh, we're going to do it this way instead. He was just kind of going with the fly, which is one, impressive that he was able to just code it on the fly, but like still really annoying that he didn't script it out. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad it helped you out. I'm basically through these tutorials, even if like the code isn't working correctly and it's being annoying, you at least got something out of it. But yeah, like he just kind of went with the flow, and it royally screwed me over because I couldn't follow it along, and I would get pissed just because either the code was outdated and it didn't work in Unreal Engine 5, or and also he wouldn't help in the comments. He never answered anything. It was people helping each other out was all we got. That was awful. So I tried to not do that, but I definitely kind of lacked there in my first series there. I think it's just I gained confidence to try. Yeah, no, it was so long. And he would have random 20-minute videos of him going over and bug fixing. So you would write code for an entire 3 videos, and then him being like, oh yeah, scratch all that. It made me so mad. Because you would just hope and pray he didn't change it. You'd want to kill yourself every single time that he would change it. It was awful. Yeah, I gave up completely. Because I know for an absolute fact, at least in Unreal Engine 5, if I went back and did that code now, it would not work at all. The first 2 videos, it wouldn't work. Man, I really need to control what I say. Because I forgot YouTube is YouTube. I normally cut stuff like this out of my videos, but we already are 1 swear word down and one no word down. Good thing I'm not monetized, because I definitely wouldn't make money off of this. Okay, I'll lock in. I don't really feel like making a UI yet because that isn't helpful right now, at least. So I need to kind of consider what I want to do. I don't want to make the map yet. I just grab some assets. I'm not going to start making what the character looks like until way later, because that's something I have to fight. I love when things look good and it motivates me to make the game, but at the same time, just prioritizing how stuff looks at the beginning is the worst thing you can do. Genuinely, that is the worst thing you can do. You'll run into way more issues unless you just prioritize your character working. Yeah. I don't even remember the guy's name, and I wouldn't even drop it anyway if I remembered, because that's unfair. But, like, he needs to get on top of it. He was so lazy. So lazy. There's so many tutorials I followed that were, like, 6-parters that were so easy to digest, and his was not it. Definitely not it. Okay, shoot, what should I start with? Inventory, let's do inventory. Inventory and, of course, interaction. I need to do interaction. That's the number 1 thing I should be doing right now. I'm gonna see if I can do this off of memory. Hopefully I didn't already mess it up. I normally have trouble remembering how to do a line trace. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. I'm definitely gonna try to stream more. Either me playing a game or, you know, just me coding. I feel like it's a good idea to stream because I'm going to be way more engaged with y'all, because I have not been lately. I definitely should be more. I have been either very lazy, admittedly, or busy with work. I'd still love like a good... I don't think I would ever want a YouTube career. I don't think I would ever want one. But it'd be kind of nice to make money off of this. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if I did it correctly. Okay, nice. I can do it by memory now. I didn't even know that. Apparently I can. Okay, line trace. Break hit results. Okay. Yeah, return value. Thank you. Yeah, if I started streaming, I would definitely start with the first Resident Evil. I have played every single Resident Evil remake, and Biohazard. I'm so hooked on Resident Evil right now, and they're having a Capcom sale on Steam right now, so you can get so much of it. I just finished Resident Evil 4 remake and the Ada storyline DLC. Absolutely loving it. It's so much fun. It's always good to grab the hit actor and do is valid after, because I guarantee, in my experience, every single time it has failed to validify, and you have to do it. Is validify a word? Validate? Yeah, validate. Yeah, that's not a word. It's not a word, Isaiah. My cat is screaming at me right now. What's up? Let me guess, you want to sit on my lap? I have the most demanding cat. She's old, so it makes sense, but she has a weird... She's one of those black cats that have a weird meow that you'll see on TikTok. I don't know why it's specifically always black cats. No, 4. So if you enjoy... I would honestly start with Resident Evil 2 Remake. That is a masterpiece of a game, one of my favorite games of all time. 4 is pushing it now for me. That game blew my mind. Hopefully you haven't seen any spoilers, because some stuff you have to experience for the first time. Like, my friend picked up Resident Evil 2 for the first time and we watched him. He hates horror games. He's terrified of them. He screamed so much when this one dude showed up. But if you love puzzles way more than combat, Resident Evil 2. I would follow it in order anyway, so you get the story. I'd do 2. The only thing I would say is, unless you really care about the story, I wouldn't really play Resident Evil 3 Remake. Play the OG. Resident Evil 3 Remake, it was actually really bad. It's shorter than the Ada DLC in Resident Evil 4 by a long shot. Like, I think it's Steam. I have 40 hours in Resident Evil 4 Remake, including the Ada part, and I have an hour and a half in Resident Evil 3. That's how long it took me to finish that game. It is so short. It really isn't that fun. There's not many puzzles. The combat's boring. I wouldn't play 3 Remake, honestly, unless you really want to. It's not really worth the money unless it's crazy on sale. But Resident Evil 2 Remake if you love puzzles. Resident Evil 4 Remake if you love combat. The combat in that game is amazing. It is so much fun. It is so cinematic. And on top of that, the Ada DLC could be its own game. Like, the Ada DLC is so cool. And of course, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil's kind of corny in the first place, which is one reason I love the game so much. It is so funny. And Resident Evil 4 is the corniest of all the games. It is... Some of the Leon lines are so funny. Yeah, like there's a scene where Ada is dangling about 20 feet in the air by a rope, unconscious. And I was just talking with my friends on the phone, just playing the game. He shoots the rope and she falls and hits the floor so hard she would have broken like 6 ribs. Just nails her head. I haven't laughed that hard in a very, very long time. It caught me so off guard. And she just got obliterated. It was so funny, the ragdoll she did. And I laughed very hard. Yeah, I love Dead by Daylight. I've been playing since, like 2019? Not so much recently. I really, unless I really am feeling like a masochist and I want to be in mental torment, then I play DVD. But lately I'd kind of avoid that game. I say that, but my favorite game's Escape from Tarkov, which is not much better. But yeah, I play Jill in DVD all the time. That is my #1 character. I always play as Jill. Okay, is valid. We need to create an interaction system. No, the game is absolute pain. It's like an abusive relationship. You hate the game, but you keep going back to it. Especially what was it, Tokyo Ghoul? They released him and everybody like instantly leaves the match when he shows up. Nobody enjoys playing against him. Yeah, this is the movement that they have for, this is the literal basic movement I have right now, except for spine bending, is what I have for, or is what it is for Phasmophobia. Like, the weird, like, kind of sliding movement, just because they haven't implemented, like, motion matching or anything. I'm telling myself to start the level, but I shouldn't. The AI is going to be the hardest part to code in this game. It's going to be awful. Because this game I'm making, it's multiplayer. You're all against each other. It's match-based. Very long matches. Like, more like servers that take hours to finish. Just because it's very competitive. I don't want to say too much right now, but it's incredibly competitive, and there's a main monster that hunts everybody. And kind of the goal is to get the monster to kill everybody but you. Because you need to extract, and there's 1 seat. There's 1 seat for you to leave, and you have to be the one to make it. Like, teaming up with people is allowed to take out other people, but it's like a survival horror extraction game with the main goal to be to leave. But it's gonna be like day-night system. At nights when it gets bad, but days when you have time to prep or go kill the other players. It'll be fun. Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of similar. I need to play that game. I've watched Markiplier play it. That's just basically all I've watched. I need to play it though. Okay, I need to code. I've just been sitting here talking. I need to code. I'm so bad at multitasking. Okay. This game won't have hitboxes, luckily, so. Yeah, I hope it'll be fun. I haven't really seen anything like it. I love desaturated colors through the folders. I really need to freshen up on my components. I barely use them when I really need to because it saves so much code. Of course, dude. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by. I wonder if you can hear my cat purring on stream. Probably. She purrs very loud. Okay, so let's add the BP underscore health component. Replication's gonna be a pain. What's the equivalent of like a equal to but a name? Can it check if they have check what text it is. Oh, equal exactly. I wasn't even aware that was a thing. That's really cool. That's cool. Let's move this out a little. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the player's name. Can I format that? Format text, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let's get null player. So I'm basically setting up for later that the character can... what am I trying to say? The character can assign a name to themselves later. The default's gonna be null player. Let's go ahead and do it's set will expose on spawn as well. So if the player's name is null player, they are going to, well, auto assign. So it's gonna spawn players. Their names are null player if they don't have an assigned name. If that's the case, it's gonna assign it by number. So null player 1, null player 2. So people can't have the same name, and when I replicate, it'll be a lot easier to kind of figure out who is who. And, you know, it'll tell me an accurate player count. Let's do this. It's fine. I can get all actors in a widget. It doesn't have to be set right now. I shouldn't be setting it in the player character anyway, so I'm gonna ignore that. I was thinking of setting the number of players to a widget. That's just for help in the future. I like to pre-plan so I don't have to go back to code, even though I inevitably will. Okay, so if it is, we're gonna grab that and we're going to set the player name, format. Can I do it here? Let's do this. That'd be cool if I could. Dang it. Oh wait, no, please. Gosh dang it, okay. That'd be cool if I could. I don't know why you have to format. Wish you didn't. There we go. So let's do this. I don't even know if that's gonna work until later. That's just kind of to help. Why did I do that? it's a good question. How did I get... dude, I trail off. I don't know how I got from here to here. I genuinely don't know. I'm formatting it, so it doesn't matter. I guess the point was to... So if that's true, let's do this. Cast to BP underscore cast to BP underscore player character. Using the hit actor. Let's go ahead and bring this up here. Basically saying, got creepy out of nowhere. Huh. Okay, I'm crazy. That is level. Basically, is this the player character? Yes, we're going to cast to the player character. It'll work no matter what because it is directly casting if the hit actor is the character. As that, we're going to get name. So I get the player's name, which will be set in the beginning. That's why I did that, because it's going to get the player's name, which will be set in the beginning. Then I will... Let's do this. I start as that. Okay. So that should be casting correctly. So this will print as a player 2 or player 2. I'll be player 1. Depends on the order that they spawn. Player name, okay. Then we're gonna print text. We're gonna say hit player character. And then we're gonna say in brackets what player character is it. This helps with debugging so much later to kind of like it tell us. So now it should say that we hit player 2 or not. It's just passing. That's kind of weird. It's not registering a hit. Weird. You would think that our player would spawn with collision. No way. Why? Why wouldn't they have collision enabled? That makes 0 sense. Is that new? Character mesh? Pawn? Character mesh. Custom. Trace. Visibility. Ignore? Why? What? Am I crazy? No? It's still passing? Maybe block? Oh, what? Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So why did Unreal Engine change the... Why? What? I'm genuinely kind of baffled. Why in the new update would they disable by default character collision for trace responses? That literally just kind of like in no way makes sense. Okay. Why? But it's still not... What? Is it because they're using my game mode? I'm so confused. Let's follow this then. You know what? No, we're gonna follow off of F. Why? What? This code is so straightforward. Why wouldn't it work? I don't think you can do it off of F. Huh? What? I'm at a loss for words. Why isn't it registering a hit? It's not registering a branch either. Am I going crazy or something? What? Okay. So if I... Why isn't debug a thing? What? I'm looking this up. Why is... Do they disable debugging by default? Okay. I feel like I'm going crazy. I really hope this isn't one of those things where I look back later and I'm like, you're just being dumb. Okay, so it triggers on event begin play. Okay, so these might not be executable. So event begin play, we're setting the walk speed, then we're setting the name. Let's see if that does correctly. Null player 3. Why would there be 3 players? Oh, why am I... Okay. That kind of makes perfect sense. Wait, well, not really, because I might just have to add that as like a world parameter or something. Why isn't that executing? Maybe I need to spawn them? I guess I'll have to manually debug. It says hitting. You know it's hitting. Maybe it's hit component? No? Is the cast failing? I'm genuinely so confused. Okay, we'll come back to this later. That's really weird. Weird. Still caught up on that. I don't like this song. We're skipping that. I don't like anything that has, hey, listen! There's so many. Not a fan. I've heard it way too many times. That would be nice to have a function. Maybe I should make it a function. That's the thing, is I don't really have to with how simple it is right now. I don't screw with this one either. It's driving me crazy, so I'm just gonna do a function. That's so much nicer. I get it's one extra block, but like I can use this later. It's just being able to do this. It's so nice. So nice. Like just all nice and organized. Oh, it's so nice. Right now I'm just getting how much damage they're taking. I'm gonna do it with a line trace just so it's a thing. How much damage they're taking. If they took enough damage for their health is less than or equal to 0, then it's true. We're just gonna set the total health to 0. Just so that, like, you know, on graphs it doesn't freak out or anything. It shows their total health. So that set it to 0, then make a return. Return with a Boolean. There you go. You know, check. Subtract damage from total health. I'm gonna move those over here. Subtract the damage from the total health, and if it's 0 or less than, then set it to 0. Say they're dead. You know, if they're not dead. And they're open to receive more damage. Let's go over here. Create a new function. Kill player. It's really weird that you can't. What type is this? Player controller object reference. Controller object reference. I might have to change this layer, but I'm just gonna get player controller. Player index. That's how you do it. Okay, that still is, you know, that's still doable. I forgot that you can change the player index. That will do it. Okay, so I know it's not necessary to add a return node. I just like to do it to show where the code ends. So basically, do this if it's true. We're going through, if they receive damage, we're going to calculate the damage. So the damage amount. So for example, if we can put this in anytime. If they have a health component, it'll work. So player, we're going to get self. Get a reference to self. So of course it's going to be us. So the player is us. Health component. How much damage you can see, like, what gun does the enemy have? Whoever hit you with the line trace, what gun do they have? And that'll control damage. Receive damage. So you just input a damage amount, and the component does absolutely everything. So, you know, it's going to calculate the damage. So it's going to figure out how much damage to take away from the health. If the health is 0, then we're going to kill the player. If the player is dead, then, you know, kill the player, which is just counting them as dead in their little tick here, saying that they're dead, so they can get a reference to if they're dead. They're going to simulate physics, so they're going to flop over. Speaking of, I have to change that. So mesh. Collision presets, ragdoll. That's so crazy, though, that trace response is set to ignore. Why? I think this is why. Hold on. No, custom. No, it says collision enabled query in physics. So that should be taking it, but it's not. Ragdoll. Why? Hitting it, but it's not doing anything. Let's just make sure that collision's enabled. Well, it should still do it. Let's do this as well. Just so we can kind of see. Yeah, it has to be specifically the player reference. Okay. Okay, so that should be... That's the thing, is that it's... I don't understand. It sometimes can be something really stupid. Like you needing to do a different key. I've had that before. Is this Mario? That is Mario. I swear, is it? If this is it. Why? Dude, this is gonna drive me crazy. Equal should do the exact same thing. Oh, you're kidding. That is why? Is because equal isn't... Okay, at least I figured it out, but that's kind of crazy. All right. I kind of want to keep it as that. That's funny. It's like soccer. Okay, yeah, I want to keep it as that. That's hilarious that you can move them around. Okay, cool. Oh, they're gone. Heck yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a video about this. I really like this. I'm so picky. So if we change this to like 10, or no, it's just 25, so you have to hit him 4 times. So it'll be like player hit. Boom. And they go down. And then you can kick them around like a soccer ball. Nice. Okay, let's set up a menu just so we can... Okay. Content. Maps. Create new level. Map. Underscore... title screen. What's that? I want to rename. Can I not? That's because we're in it, that's why. M underscore UE default. There we go. There we go. Delete the build data, doesn't really matter. I'm picky like this, so. Wow, how did I get the hex code perfect? That's crazy. So that should be red. Kind of indicate that it's doing damage. Now we should have that they can't receive input if they're killed, so. I do an is not for organizational skills. You can do not equal. No, ooh, not. I think it's just not. Not Boolean, that's what it is. For organizational purposes, so I can keep it on true. So if they're not, it'll receive hit. So it should be that now they don't, no, they get something. Am I doing this correctly? Not true. They're not getting set, so it's probably in the health component. Should be. So that's to simulate physics. Weird. Let's get this fixed. So this thing is receiving damage, so let's go ahead and do this for debugging's sake. How do we resume? There we go. The giant resume button, maybe. Okay. Shouldn't be registering a hit. Well, maybe we have to do it before. Okay, now this is where I just kind of follow it along and check where I was making a mistake. Like F so much more for interact. Okay. Health component. Receive damage. Damage amount. Calculate damage. Maybe I have to do it here. Well, I would rather do it here. Oh! Oh! I'm so dumb. This is checking if our player is dead. That makes 0 sense. Okay. That makes perfect sense why that wouldn't work then. I had a brain fart there. That would not make sense if our player was alive, if they would be alive too. So, we're gonna have to check in here. Well, we can technically... Wait, no. Yeah, this will work. I just didn't do it properly. Now this will work. Wow, that made 0 sense. Good job, me. Making code that doesn't make sense. Now it'll work, because like, why would... Or it'll just not work. Probably because I didn't put this in after doing undo. Okay. Yeah, now it doesn't register anything. I need to do a crosshair, because this is driving me crazy. Go ahead and do this. Just because I need to grab an asset. Okay. My drive. Projects. Nope. Temporary. So it's not this one. Oh, because maybe I was looking the wrong one. Oh, I wasn't. Good. Please have it. Okay, not in that one. That's great. Maybe this one? I have so many emails. This is not okay. It would make sense to be here. Yeah, there we go, found it. It's from one of my YouTube videos. The crosshair dot. Unreal projects. Assets. Images. There we go. shortly. We'll also go into players. Let's go ahead and add that. The UI folder. Okay. Should be good. Yep, that's what I want. Let's make sure it's an alpha channel. sRGB. Texture group. What was it? It was like a specific texture group I had to change it to. What was the texture group? Okay, you know what? That's it. I think that's it. Just changing it to alpha. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, let's go ahead over here. And for those just joining, what I have set up is a player. It's gonna be multiplayer. So what I have set up is that basically you can just do this and then it's funny because you can kick people around. But it's a multiplayer like survival horror where it's competitive, so you're trying to eliminate all other people to win. And you can either eliminate them by sabotaging them and having a monster kill them, or you can eliminate them yourselves. Either way. So that's what I have set up right now. But I'm setting up a UI because it drives me insane that I can't see where my line trace is going. So I'm going to do that. I don't need a blueprints tab. I'll be okay. We don't need to go that too much into it. You know, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna name it UI. What? There we go. Let's see how small that is. No, it's negative. I forgot how to do it. What was it? It was like, oh, that's why, because the position's off. You had to do it in this. That alignment. That'll perfectly center it. Okay. Let's do this. It's way too big for my taste. I'll just leave it like this. Then we can just calculate it. So event construct. Let's go ahead and set up a sequence because I know I'm gonna have multiple things going on. Is get owner. Get owning player. That should. Actually, there's such... Well... Yeah, there's a much easier way to do it. If I just do crosshair size, and then the player sets it. So... Yeah. That's so much easier. So, if we... Ooh, wait. No, it's because instance editable, expose on spawn. So what we do is we have the crosshair size here. If we go ahead over to the player character and if inside the player character we So, Alright, what was I saying? Sorry, my friend was asking if you should get Resident Evil, and I said, yes! You heard my rant earlier. I love Resident Evil. Okay. So if we create this HUD, if it's the UI player HUD, let's refresh the node and it should appear. Yep. You can just do it right here, and then just plug in your crosshair size. And make this instance editable, expose on spawn. So, quite literally, you can just set it in the player. So we go crosshair size, boom. Default value of 20. Let's do default value of 20. That makes it so easy. So crosshair size, let's also do it here, the default value of 20. No, let's leave it 0 so we can debug. We'll just know. Crosshair size of 20. We'll go over here, get crosshair size. Get crosshair set size. What was it? Set. Transformed. Scale. No, that's just maybe set scale. Is that one? Maybe it is set transform. That seems like it. This might screw with this. We'll see. This might absolutely screw with the scale or the other factors, but let's just try it. So if we play, yeah, that doesn't look right. So let's change that default value to like 1 and see what 1 is. Well, This one's like 1.5 should be as big as it can be. Yeah, let's do like 2. Yeah. Let's do from 0 to 2. There we go. I'm just gonna no, not copy it over. We're gonna leave it the same. 0 to 2. So that we can change the size. Let's do like 0.2. Let's see what I like. That's way too small. 0.5. I was gonna say, is this just straight Minecraft? Yeah, I like 0.5. So let's just leave it like that. Yeah, and then this isn't all. You should also take the crosshair size and what was it? Subtract the. There's like a formula to it. You always take the size and subtract it by, make it negative and subtract it by half, or make it negative and divide it by to where it's half. Why did I say that in the worst way possible? Half of your size, make it negative, it will perfectly position in the center. So we will take the crosshair size, set. What's translation? Like if I do like 10, will that change it? Like 100. Yeah, okay. We can do translation. So let's go ahead and do the size here. So we'll take the crosshair size. We will divide it by 2. And then we'll negate it. But negate, I believe you have to... That's the thing. I don't understand why negate float. It might be more friendly, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway. But you can just multiply it by -1. But something tells me there's a negate float for a reason. So I'm just going to do it. Something tells me it's there for a reason. Oh, yeah. This is things I really shouldn't be focusing on right now. I think I was working on the menu. So that should just work. Yeah, I like that a lot more. Just helps with the line trace. We set the size so we can. This is annoying me, as you can tell. I'm so OCD. Let's just make these both on the line. And then rotate them around 180. There we go. Yeah, now he's just gonna start in front of us. Probably gonna go until like 9 or 9:30 and then I'll stop. I don't really want to stay up until 10. I might. We'll see how long I can go. Kind of want to play Resident Evil 1. Well, I could stream that too, I guess. I could stream that. Okay. Player HUD. That works. Now, I think if you want to watch my video on horror crosshairs, you can. This is literally the exact same code. I think this is just simplified because Unreal Engine 5 does it a little bit different. Well, I guess the Unreal Engine 5 version that I'm doing. Yeah, okay. Now let's make the home screen. So, there we go. Content, maps. I always make maps orange. That's already almost where I like it. Kind of like a brownish orange. So it doesn't hurt my eyes when it's bright orange. I used to do bright colors, but I recently just like this more. Just kind of like palette colors. Close open title screen. Let's create a new game mode. Okay, this is gonna force title screen game mode. Default pawn. Spectator pawn. No, let's do just pawn. Can I do default pawn as none? And then like I don't have input or gravity? That should be fine. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not like falling. I doubt I am. Session and game state, player controller, player state, HUD class, none. No, let's just do HUD. Default pawn class, none. Spectator pawn, player controller. Okay. Is that a plane? Yeah, you don't have a camera, so you can't even do anything. So I think that's okay. Yeah. Change the project settings, maps and modes. it over here? Yeah, I have some modes. Game default map is going to be title screen. Editor startup map is going to be title screen. Just to keep it consistent. Oh, PewDiePie screaming right now. Or streaming, not screaming. Okay. Ew! Auto exposure. Gross. We don't want that on. Auto exposure is awful. I hate auto exposure. What it does is it simulates what your eyes do. So when you look directly at a light or in a light, your screen brightens and it brightens the light. It screws so bad with your environment. You have to kind of tweak it later, but I always disable it from the start because it's so annoying. Just, I wish it was off by default. Doesn't make sense to have that on. Player HUD. Okay. Blueprints. UI. Go ahead and do this. Let's create a... Make a UI pawn. Yeah, that actually works. I'm not mad about that. Okay, like a nice little gradient. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna raise the camera a little. I think the average scale is like 160 units, something like that. No, it's way too high. 110, I think. I think it works. There we go. Okay. Get the controller. What was it? The camera? No, why would it be the camera? Where do you get set? I swear it was the controller. Now, get player controller, wouldn't that just... I guess there wouldn't be multiple players in the menu, so it doesn't really matter. Set show mouse cursor. Okay, that's where it is. Should be fine. Did I accidentally close out the game state? I did, okay. I thought there's an enabled mouse input button, but I don't think there is. Just to be sure, let's drag some text. Yep, it's there. Okay. No, has to be. I forgot it was this direction. How do I know there's a way to get it to center. I just don't remember how. How do I center my text? Monospacing. That's kind of cool, actually. What's up, cat? Ow! Scratching my leg. Kill me. I guess it just doesn't want me to. Just put this over here, I guess. That'll work for now. Oh wow, I'm dumb. I forgot you can do this. Okay, let's go ahead and just add text to this thing. I'm being way too picky. The padding on the right and left should be 0. Okay, apparently it really doesn't want the M to be capital, that's fine. Cool. Very basic menu down, I guess. Figure something out that might be kind of difficult. Go. Now the real question is, how do I transfer over? I'm gonna look this up because I don't even know where to begin with that. Maybe I shouldn't. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and trying to think. Get level. Level name? Get current level name. And if it's equal to... Okay. Let's change this to text. Is it equal to... Fuck. Apologize for swearing again. It slipped out. Underscore title screen. It's true. Let's go back to the game mode. If we carry it over as just the player character the whole time, it's gonna be a lot easier. So, and he won't even see anything, so it doesn't really matter. So if it's true, if it's false, then we'll continue this sequence. Yeah, we need more room. We're getting if it's the title screen. If it's not, we're gonna spawn in whatever and be fine. But if it is the title screen, then we're gonna go ahead and do what Pawn does. If it's false, let's make sure set show mouse cursor is false. We need a lot of room. So we need more room than I thought we would. We should probably create the HUD over here then. So let's go ahead and do this. And then make the HUD the widget to focus. Because that just makes sense to do it then. Okay, yeah. Then we'll do this. Okay. In widget to focus, in mouse lock. settings. All this just to change my name is wild. Ugh. Let's do... What did I do before? Get owner? What? Is it different here? Get owning player. There we go. Get owning player. Reload. Cast. So you can't cast to the player. Then we have to do player. Yeah, we have to do that. And we have to... Time to make more room! Yay! Okay, I can't do self? Gosh. Player controller. Okay. There we go. So it has to be the controller. I want to make sure that's the case, though. Yeah, it has to be the controller, so then we can drag in the player and do reload game settings. Nope, still didn't do it. Okay. Yeah, and it accessed none, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's because they did it for the... Wait. Did they do it for the player HUD? Not the... I'm so confused. Oh, I'm just dumb, apparently. Okay, that's why. Because it didn't get the reference correctly. So maybe that'll work now. Yo, what's up? Yeah, I mean, it's a good time to start. It's a lot of fun. As you can tell, I've been doing this for like 2.5 hours, and it felt like it's been 30 minutes. So, please work. Okay, it didn't work. Great. Equal. I don't think an equal will work because it's not a cast. So, ooh, I gotta look it up. Let me look it up. Some great YouTubers. So if you're interested in horror games, I have a horror game playlist. First of all, making a Crosshair, then you can go into how to make your game spookier, things like that. But that's not a good like starting, I would say. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sit here and shamelessly promote. So, let me look it up. So, your best bet, really, even though it's super boring, would be to watch blueprint videos. So I've seen a lot of blueprint videos where they just kind of, like, for example, one video would be called, like, casting, how to cast correctly, and it'll go over casting and all that. But I would watch a good, there's, like, Unreal Sensei is really good. So if you want to look up Unreal Sensei, let's do... trying to remember his name. Gorka Games. Gorka Games is amazing. My favorite Unreal Engine YouTuber of all time. He has helped me so much. So Gorka Games and Unreal University. Best ones of all time. They're great. So if you want to start off with that and then kind of transition into watching, even though it's boring, like I said, watching videos about like, you know, an hour long of explaining different blueprint parts, it helped me so much. Like genuinely, it took me from a beginner to a pro very quickly, just because I got a way better understanding of how Unreal Engine works. Once you get kind of an understanding of Unreal Engine, I mean, you don't even need to know all this. Like, this is the list of like every node that exists in the game. Like, you can just kind of guess. Like, I didn't even know Get Owning Player existed. I just looked it up and it showed up. So by actually going in and doing, like I said, watching those explanation videos, you're gonna do yourself such a favor. If you really want to take this seriously, then that is the best thing you can do. I mean, hey, that's a good amount of time. Do you at least feel like you've gotten a little bit of a hang of it? I'm gonna worry about this later. Text changed. Probably gonna code for about 15 more minutes. I'm gonna eat dinner and take a break. I've been at it for what, like almost 3 hours. Got a lot done. Not the cool stuff, but the beginning stuff. Tomorrow's what, Thursday? Oh, I'm gonna do this a lot tomorrow. Do this a lot. Get a lot more time on my hands, and I feel like streaming kind of helps motivate me because it kind of forces me to work. Because otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Which is a problem I have. I think I have to destroy the widget. I could probably delete this. settings. Okay, it didn't come up with an error, so I didn't use it. I don't think I'm doing this correctly at all, but I'm just doing it the way that I know. Just see if that works at least. Nope. Great. You know, let's just not worry about that right now. Okay, so I left off. Let's create a comment. Left off trying to figure out why the mouse does not work properly after moving levels. Left off trying to figure out why the mouse does not work properly after moving levels. Work on inventory system and interactions such as lights and doors. All right, that's where we're leaving off. Gonna work on this another time. Right here, as I said, this is what we work on. Pretty good first stream. I think I made a lot of progress. Just don't know why the mouse isn't working properly. I'll get it down. I got ragdolling, it identifying if they're dead. Yeah. Sprinting, just the basic stuff. Got a health system set up too. I have health too, so I can be damaged and die. I need to set that up as like a button that deals damage to me or something. Or like a box I can walk into that deals damage. But yeah, that's about it. Hope y'all had fun watching. I had a couple people come in and comment. That means a lot to me. I'm trying to do this a lot more. I'm gonna try to do this throughout making my game, especially considering this would help me a ton with editing. If I don't have to record this every time, I can just take the stream, take the video, you know, and there'll be commentary of it too. I feel like it's so much easier to talk in stream than it is to talk in videos. I stutter and have to make like hundreds of cuts every video. It is so annoying, and it takes double the time to edit than it does to record, just because I stutter and I have to cut it out, or I say something wrong. I feel like it's so much easier on stream. So yeah, I had fun. I hope y'all did as well. It's gonna be future videos, and I hope this game works out. See ya.